Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're
the Bourbon Bros.
So today, Brandon, what we're going to be doing is figuring out in our selection, what's our best budget bourbon?
Yeah, we decided to move our set today to the Umbrella Bar here in beautiful Franklin, Wisconsin. We got a great day, got a great lineup, and hopefully we got a great video for you.
Before we get to drinking, or tasting, I should say. So the format of this is we're going to start with on the Green River side and kind of work our way over to the Grandad 114. Kind of give our quick opinion, our first initial thoughts on the budget bourbons.
Yeah, and Buffalo Trace needed to be in this lineup, right? That was an important part?
Very important part. I think Buffalo Trace, a lot of people's opinion is that's the best budget bourbon, or at least it used to be the best budget bourbon. And so we wanted that in the lineup compared to maybe some of the newer stuff that's on the market, but also comparing to some of the stuff that's been on the market forever.
Yeah, it's a good benchmark bourbon, and it'll be interesting to see how some of the other ones compare. All right. Green River?
Green River, let's taste.
All right. You know, this is a wheated bourbon, the iteration we're tasting, so it's going to have a different flavor profile. It's really good.
Yeah, I would say this is really rounded. It's smooth. Yep. There's not a lot of upfront sweetness to me.
Okay.
But I think the feel of the bourbon is what I like the most about it.
Yeah, very velvety, not overly sweet. It does have a lot of character to it. I get that kind of strawberry cream flavor out of this right away.
Do you remember the taste of strawberries?
Even with strawberries.
Here, strawberries.
Tastes like strawberries.
Okay, yeah, strawberry cream, interesting. I think this one is a great one to start with, by the way.
Yeah, very approachable. Very approachable. And when you're talking budget bourbons, I think that's something you want, right? I think sometimes we steer away from some of the lesser expensive bottles because sometimes they can be harsh.
Right.
This is not that.
Yeah, and people love to see the rare bottles, but those people out there that are looking for, you know, hey, we just want something to take to a friend's house or something like that. This is a great option.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on. All right, moving on to what is, I think, one of the consensus best budget bourbons, period, the Evan Williams Bottled in Bond.
Yeah, I think, you know, Buffalo Trace has a very popular belief it's the best, but Evan Williams is like the classic.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. It's well-rounded, it's got good proof, and you're getting a nicely proofed product at a good price.
Yeah, yeah. This one, from what I recall, it was very fresh smelling last time.
You're like a breath of fresh air in this joint.
Yeah, a lot of floral, a lot of freshness. That's a great way to describe it.
Yep, very fresh.
I'm actually pulling down some kind of salty sweetness here.
Yeah, I would agree.
A little caramel.
I'm even getting that on the taste right now.
Okay.
I would say like salted caramel.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
That is quite delicious, actually. Yeah, very impressive. This is a little bit of a step up from the last one. Yeah.
I would agree. I like this one a little bit more. It's got a little bit more of a kick to it, a little more spice.
Yep.
And I'm actually getting some sweetness, and that salty is kind of a surprise and nice.
Yeah. Yep. I would agree. Nice job, Evan Williams. you continue to do well.
Yes.
Yeah. Next.
So we are on to the popular belief one, the Buffalo Trace. Classic. Actually, I'm seeing it in all liquor stores usually now.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more readily available. You know, Sazerac has been pushing pretty hard to get some of their mainstay products out into the market. You see a lot of Sazerac Rye, a lot of Buffalo Trace. Those two are pretty much on the shelves in Wisconsin now.
Yeah, it's always got a pretty good nose.
It's a nice nose. That is a nice nose.
Very kind of subtle on the nose. I like that. It was like a subtle sweetness and a really nice, smooth flavor there.
Yeah, that's got all the, to me, that hits the big three every time, right? You get your vanilla, you get your caramel, you get your oak, and you get it in equal doses.
Yeah.
There's nothing that like overly hits, but it's like a nice rounded bourbon.
Yeah, it's the funny part is I want to not believe that it's the popular one, but among these three so far, this is definitely punches up the biggest.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you know, at a 90 proof, what it's delivering in terms of flavor, it makes the rest of the lineup kind of tough.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it stacks up against the Jim Beam 7 here.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's move on. All right, so I think we're both pretty excited for this next one. This is the Jim Beam 7-year, and we've talked about this in the past, right? Jim Beam had the extra age black label. That was an 86 proof bourbon. That was an 8-year bourbon. They dialed it back a year, added 4% of proof, so we got a 90%. Now, they're not saying this, but I think they may have designed this bottle to go head-to-head with Buffalo Trace.
Well, I would hope so, because if they're the leader of the group right now, I think marketing-wise they did a great job.
Oh, it's got wonderful shelf presence.
Wonderful shelf presence.
Yep.
But we just recently found this on our most recent bourbon hunt.
Wowza.
Were you giving the camera some eyes?
I was. I want to make sure we were on the same page here.
It actually smells kind of rye-like to me.
It does smell high rye, and to me it smells oaky.
Yeah.
Oaky.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my God. But smooth.
Wow, that
silky.
is a
like
very different experience.
wow. I don't know how long these other ones are aged for necessarily, but this 7-year, it definitely, you can taste the years on it.
Yeah, for sure. And this has got some depth and some layers. Now it's not overly sweet, right? I think that oakiness is the front, the prominent flavor for me.
Yes, but I believe on that backside, that finish, I'm getting some sweetness.
Okay. Yeah, I would be interested to taste a barrel proof iteration of it, where they haven't diluted it down.
Yeah.
And just kind of experience what
Right.
that would be like coming right out of the barrel. Because I agree. I think for a $30 bourbon, I think we got it for just less than that.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of chew to it.
Kind of
Very
like
viscous.
how Knob Creek's really been pushing their 9-year single barrel.
Yep.
And I think that's wonderful. I've had their Knob Creek 9.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
That
it's
I think
great.
that would be a great idea for them.
Yep. Yep. Well, this is great. I'm very pleased with that. Let's keep moving.
All right, so we have the Benchmark Full Proof. So I didn't know about this bourbon. Brandon was telling me about it. I guess it's been out for a while. I guess it was allocated and no longer that way
Well, we still don't have access to it on the shelves in Wisconsin.
in Wisconsin.
So we went down to Rockford and picked that up.
Yes, so on a bourbon hunt, we went and found this. It's gonna be our highest proof today. It's gonna be 125 proof. Compared to the Granddad, you thought the Granddad was gonna be most, but it's not. The full proof Benchmark is gonna carry the weight here. So
Yeah, and in terms of, proof over dollar value, this is the ratio for this one's off the charts, right?
Yes.
So if it can back it up with a nose and a good flavor,
Yep.
it's going to be tough to beat.
Right, and I'm excited because proof usually sits well with us.
Yeah, I agree. It has bode favorably in the past. It's got a lot of nose. I kind of liken that to the Evan Williams a little bit. I know that sounds weird because it is Buffalo Trace juice, but
Yeah, I think this one's one you got to let sit in the glass for a little while, so you don't get any of that.
You picking up ethanol?
I'm picking up the heat.
I'm not getting that.
I'm picking up the heat, but I'm liking the flavors that are accompanying that heat though.
I really like the nose on this. I think
Okay.
it's got a really nice nose.
It's like a rose flower almost.
Yeah.
Like a rose
Yep.
petal flower.
Very, very floral. It's got a good sweetness to it. The flavor is good. It's not great. Now, if I wanted a really proofy, if I wanted an option that was proofy
Yeah.
at a low price point,
Yep.
I don't think there's a better one out there.
Yeah. I think the proof is making it feel like it's maybe a little young.
It feels young.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit thin. So when you come off the 7-year, and then you move over to this guy, it's definitely thinner.
Yeah, because we like a high proof, but if the high proof can elevate the flavor profile, but I think this one's kind of diminishing the flavor profile by making it feel maybe a little bit of a younger bourbon.
Yeah. Maybe diminishing the flavor, not necessarily the flavor, but the experience.
The experience.
Yeah.
I should say the
I would
experience.
Yep.
And you know what? Maybe after maybe the second glass of this, it might be like, I don't know.
Of course I'm drunk.
I'm kind of grabbing some banana off this.
Really?
Yeah.
Banana. You're
Yeah.
an interesting banana man.
Yeah. When I get it and it's there, I can't shake it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am still liking the Buffalo Trace or the Jim Beam 7 a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yep. All right. Well, we got one more. What do you say we get to the last one, and then let's reveal our choices here.
Let's do it. We have a classic for the last one. Brandon, introduce the bottle, please.
I forgot what bottle we're working with. Okay. This is the infamous Trick Zach by slipping it in. and pretending it's a better bourbon than it is.
Oh.
And he always points it out. He's like, this has got to be Granddad. I think that this, before the Benchmark Full Proof, was probably that best value, right, in terms of looking for proof over dollar amount.
Yeah.
It's a good whiskey, and I've graded it pretty high in the past.
I think where the proof sits on the Granddad is a wonderful, like a little rainbow area. It's a little fairyland. I think that if you can get the proof in that 110 to 116 area,
Yeah.
you're landing perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, I like that my sweet spot's like 105 to 115.
Okay.
I think that gives you enough proof that you're not taking away from that flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can deliver in that, historically, that's where my favorite bourbons are.
Yeah, and I feel that compared to the Buffalo Trace, the Granddad 114 is actually those people that want to not like the Buffalo Trace because of its popularity, they tend to lean towards this 114 Granddad.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the same notoriety.
Yeah.
Right. This is kind of the hipster bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of the hipster bourbon.
I'm gonna wear skinny jeans, grow a beard now.
Yeah. Well, halfway there.
It's so good, dude.
It's good bourbon.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely up there with the Buffalo Trace and the Jim Beam 7.
So let's compare this to the Full Proof real quick, because those are the two that had some pretty standout
Yeah.
proofs, right? This is better than the Full Proof, in my opinion. I thought that this, the experience on this, if the Full Proof could deliver that experience,
Yes.
knockout probably would have
Yep.
been the best in the lineup.
Yep. I think the proof on the Granddad very much complements the flavor profile
Totally.
of the Granddad.
Totally. And this doesn't feel like a bourbon that's trying to do too much, right? It kind of understands what it is, who they're marketing to. I feel like they've embraced who they are.
Yeah, it feels light. Like
Yeah.
it's smooth, and it's not like a heavy hit of heat. I'm looking for it every time I take a sip. I'm like, man, I'm looking for a nice experience.
100%. And that's exactly what I meant by I think they know who they are. I don't think they tried to go, hey, we're going to give you the most nose, we're going to give you the most flavor.
Yep.
We're going to give you a nice whiskey at a good proof,
Yeah.
but you're going to enjoy that proof. And that's,
Yep.
for people who enjoy bourbon, I get why bourbon enthusiasts love Granddad.
Yep, me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Yep, that's wonderful. So on that note, Zach, which of these do you think punch up? Right, not necessarily the best one, but which of these punch up, right?
Okay.
Which don't belong necessarily in the 30 and under category?
Don't belong. They're definitely above that bracket. I want to say definitely our Buffalo Trace
Yep.
performs.
Yep,
Our Jim Beam 7-year performs.
agreed.
Granddad 114 performs.
Yeah, yep, I couldn't agree more. Now, again, under the context of $30, I think all those make sense. Now that Benchmark, that's a $20 bottle.
Yeah.
You're getting a hell of a lot of good bourbon for $20. That also punches up, but 30 is probably where I would max it out at.
I would max it out about there as well.
Yeah, it probably could be a $30 bottle.
Agreed. I say to wrap up kind of who we think the finalist is, we should taste our two finalists together.
Okay. Which are your two? Who are you nominating?
I think Granddad's great.
Yep.
I think Granddad is going to be, to be honest, I think Granddad should be king of the $30. And I think that these guys should move up bracket in price, to be honest. I think these two exceeded all the others.
I agree. I think in terms of meeting all the markers, right? Nose, flavor. We'll just say the experience will wrap that up as your mouthfeel and finish.
Yep.
I would agree. Those are my two as well.
All right, let's pour them.
Let's pour them up.
All right, we have our two finalists. We have Buffalo Trace and Jim Beam 7, and we're double fisting it for all those people that love us out there.
Yeah, for all the people who are concerned about our health.
Oh, yes, for those people concerned about our well-being.
Yes, there you go. All right, so we got Buffalo Trace.
I say we do Buffalo Trace, yep. Wonderful nose. Oh, it's so smooth.
It's very good.
Velvety, smooth, love
Velvety.
that.
Yeah, you ready to dive into the next one?
I'm ready to dive into the next
All
one,
right.
yep. I don't even want to say anything. Again, another beautiful nose, I think a little stronger on the nose.
All right, which one do you like better, left or right?
I like the right one better.
I do too. That was Buffalo Trace.
Was it?
Yeah. I wanted you to have an honest opinion. That was the Buffalo Trace. I told the camera twice that that was not Buffalo Trace.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're both so smooth.
Very good. This is oakier. The Jim Beam is oakier for sure. but the one on the right just got a little more sweetness to it that I really like. I like that sweetness in my bourbon. All right, Buffalo Trace, you remain the best $30 bourbon.
Yo, the champion, man. All right, cool.
All right, you're Zach.
I'm Zach.
I'm Brandon.
And we're
The Bourbon Bros.
the Bourbon Bros.